In this video I'm going to show you all the different ways of how we can compare strings in C#. Let's get to it. Okay, you guys remember our GUI. If we go to the Go button and let's declare two string variables, string 1 that's equal to Kate and a string 2 that's equal to Mary. And of course, one of the simplest way we can compare two strings is with an if statement. If string 1 is equal to string 2, my label output text will be yes, else it will be no. Oops. Okay, let's quickly test that one. It is not equal. Let's change string 2 to Kate. Yes, it is. Okay, but let's see what happens when we go with a small letter K. It is not equal because it is case sensitive. So how can we get around that issue? Well, if we say string 1 dot upper to upper, and string 2 dot to upper, this will convert everything in string 2 to capital letters and everything in string 2 to capital letters as well. That's one way of getting around the capital issue in the variables. So now you can see that this case is a small letter and that one is a capital letter. So let's go to start and let's see. Now they are equal to each other, but if I want to let me just get my words. I want to show you that it doesn't change the original string of the value. If I go to yes and then display to you the original value of string 1, you will see that only the first one has been capitalized. Okay, so it doesn't change this variable. It only changed it in the if statement. It only changed all its letters to capital, but it doesn't change the default initialized value of the string variable. It's still capital letter and then all the small letters. Okay, and it's not just to upper. I think the other one is to lower. Okay, so now if I convert all of this to lower, because this one is already lower, let's get rid of that method right there. It should return a yes to us. Yes. Okay, now let's look at some other ways. Let's comment these out. Okay, what other ways, let's change this back to Mary. What other ways can we compare strings to each other? Well, the next method I'm going to show you is string.compare. So if I say if my string 1's method.compare to string 2, but you can't just, this is not going to return a boolean value. This is actually going to return an integer value. It's going to return a 1, a 0, or a -1, or less than 0. Okay, so it's not actually a 1 or a -1. It's greater than 0, a 0, or less than 0. So if I tell this, if this statement is equal to 0, the strings match each other. Otherwise, I'm just doing copying and pasting just to save some time. Seems I have an error somewhere. Okay, so this says compare string 1 and string 2 to me, and this is going to return a value greater than 0, 0, or less than 0. Now if it is greater than 0, string 1 is greater than 2. That's what it means. So if this is greater than 0 like this, string 1 is greater than string 2. We can quickly type that in. String 1 greater than string 2. Okay, and then we go else if, else if, I'm copying and pasting quickly again. If string 1 dot compare to string 2 is less than 0, it will be that string 1 is less than string 2. Else, if you think about the logical after that, if it's not greater or less than 0, it is only equal to 0, and then we can say that string 1 is equal to string 2. So let's try that real quick. Okay, so what have we got? We got the less than. It says that Kate is less than Mary, and that has to do with the alphabetical situation and stuff. I'm going to show you now. If I make this an A and this a Z, can you guys guess what's the answer going to be? It's going to be string 1 is less than string 2, because string 1 is an A, and A is at the beginning of the alphabet. So let's say from A to Z is 0 to 25. A's value is 0, but Z's value is 25. And Z is greater than A. So string 1 is smaller than string 2. So that's how it works. And the last method I quickly want to show you, if I comment this out real quick again, is the string.compareTo method as well. It's very similar to this one. You can physically call the string class and say the string.compare, and then you can say, and it says there in an overloaded method, you can use string A and it needs a string B. So I'm going to use hard-coded now again. I'm going to say A again and Z again, and this needs to be the same criterion as the smaller, the larger, or the equals one. Once again, if A is if the value is greater than 0, then A is greater than Z. If it's equal to 0, they are the same, and if it's less than 0, it means that A is smaller than Z. So let's make this an equal one, and copy this. Yeah, so if I make this a capital Z, let's put an else function in quickly, and just write not equal. Okay, so what have I done? Capital Z comparing to smaller case z. If it's equal to 0, we will get that message, and if it's not equal, we get the not equal message. Okay, so it's not equal. Why? Because this is a capital letter, and capital letters are in another as another type of value than a smaller case letter. Okay. Okay, so I've shown you the normal comparing method. I've shown you some to lower and to upper. I've shown you how to compare with compareTo, and then I showed you how to use it from the string class to compare the values with each other. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you. Good luck.